As you can see from the title, I'm attempting to build a GHK M4 from scratch, and you may be wondering why I'm doing this. I want to modify the M4 in a certain way, so it's actually cheaper to buy all the parts and that I want and then put it together. If you buy the whole gun and then buy the extra parts, it ends up being a lot more money. So this is like an affordable way to get a GHK M4. Another reason is you can, it's kind of like financing it, I guess. You could buy a little bit at a time, and then it's not a huge purchase all at once. So you can buy it slowly over time, just all the little parts. For now, I'm going to be assembling the lower. It's the hardest, I guess the hardest part to assemble. I'm a little nervous to do this on camera because I'm not sure how it's gonna go. There is something weird here. I don't know if this is normal, this part here. I guess we'll find out when we put it all together. Yeah, so I got all the parts and I'm gonna build this gun from start to finish till it's complete, and hopefully we'll learn some stuff together on the way or during the build. And I'm going to be skipping a lot of boring parts in this video, so yeah, let's get started. I'm going to probably start with the mag catch. So this goes here. You can't really tell, it's pretty stiff. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to sand it a bit. Some of the parts are pretty tight. Alright, so I'm guessing this goes here. Let's see if that's the right way. Yep. And then this screws on. You know what, I'd probably push it in like this and twist it like this. I'm not sure if that's the right amount of twists, but it's working. I might have to adjust that later. Alright, next part. I guess I'll do the buffer tube stop thing to hold it in. That's this here, this part here. I also got some Loctite, because you probably need to Loctite some of these screws. So it's a grub screw, and it goes in there, and it's in this hole here, right in there, and you just put the spring in, here, and then the stop, like so. You push it down, and then you have to drop the grub screw. Should probably get an Allen key. So just hold this down, and then screw this in here. I'm gonna put a little bit of Loctite on there. I find Loctite gets pretty messy. It's really runny. Screw this in. There you go. There you go. Looks like it's in. Hopefully that will hold. I'm gonna double check everything with my finished GHK lower to make sure it's all correct. Next part, I guess I'll put in the pins. Pins go in like so. Sorry if this is off camera. It looks like there is a grub screw missing here. I'm not sure. It's in another bag here. For this one, there should be a grub screw to hold the spring in. Hopefully I'll come across it. If not, I'm just gonna have to use the back plate like a real AR. They don't have the grub screw. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Do the front pin next. So for the front pin, I put the spring down here, and I put this stopper here, and it pushes it down. Oops. Push it down. There we go. That pin is in. I'll do, the back one fell out, so I'll do that later when I put on the back plate. Next part, I'm going to do actually, I should probably do this last, the bolt stop. I'll do the trigger guard. So it looks like you push this down and slide it in, like that. And then this roll pin is punched into here. Got my mallet. Alright, so I'm trying to get that pin in. I don't want to smack it too loud because my son is sleeping. So I don't want to be too loud, it's nighttime. So I'll do that later. I'll punch that in later. Okay, I guess we should start on the hardest parts, the trigger group and whatnot. So I guess this part goes in first, the trigger. And this is the trigger hammer. It attaches to the spring somehow here. I'm not sure how exactly. I think something like this. The spring here, I think it sits like this. So I'll try to put it in like this. Different. No, they're both tight. I'm gonna have to hammer it. There we go. Okay, so I hammered it in the pin. It was a little tricky to get the trigger in, but I got it in. And that's how it's supposed to work. There's this part is supposed to hit the valve on the mag and release the gas. So I hope this is gonna work. We'll continue. Okay. So this part, I think somehow sits on here. I really don't know. The hammer goes on top of everything, and then this sits on top somehow. Or was this supposed to go through the pin? Oh, I see. I screwed up. I'm gonna have to punch that pin out and put this here. Hang on, bear with me. So I'm gonna put that piece in, and there's a spring that sits. I got it in. There's a spring that sits right there, if you can see that. And then this is supposed to go on top. There we go. I'm gonna hammer that back in. Okay guys, so I got it in. It was a little tricky, but it went in, and I think this is how it's supposed to go. Like that, I'm not too sure. Hopefully that is correct. Alright, so the next part is the hammer. So in the hammer, it comes with this little thing, and it's supposed to sit in here like that. And I believe the spring is supposed to sit on it like this somehow. Oops. So I believe it's supposed to sit like this inside, push down on here, like this. So I'll try. So I'm just gonna put the pin in and get it ready to just get it in, get ready. Okay. So it's in a little bit. So this goes on the top, like so. So what you have to do is push this forward so the pin can go through this and this. It's a little tricky. And you want these two springs resting on top of the pin here. Alright guys, so I got the pin through. It's a little tricky, but it looks like it's working. This is supposed to hit the valve here, and it looks like it's functioning how it should. And the springs are here and here. I'm not sure if you can see that on here, but it's working. That was a little tricky. When I was hammering the hammer in, this piece here that was attached to the trigger, the little spring, came loose, and I had to take it all apart again. So yeah, it's kind of a pain. Okay, so next part. We got the auto lever, and that goes here, but we also have the selector. So I'm gonna put the selector in first, and let's see how this goes. So this one comes with a grub screw right here. So something's funny. I might have put this in wrong down here. Okay, I think I had to put the hammer back. It looks like there's some flash here, so it's kind of snug to get that in. I have to give it a little whack. Oh, it went in. There we go. Okay, so it went in. Now I put the ball bearing in here, right in here. Oops. And then the spring, and then the grub screw. Let's see what size. Oops, this could be tricky. Okay guys, so I finally got that grub screw in. That was brutal. It just kept springing out. Oh god, that was rough. Okay, now it's this auto lever, the last piece to the whole lower. Oh, this isn't the auto lever. Actually, it's not the last piece. I have the bolt catch still, but here we go. Auto lever. Okay. Let's see, how does this go? I'm not sure. Okay, so this piece has to go in like this with this spring the other side of the selector switch like this. So this is gonna be a little tricky. I'm gonna try to get it in like that. Can try the other way around. Okay guys, so I finally got this pin in. It was really hard. What I had to do was take out the selector and put it in without the tension on the spring, and it went in much easier. And then I had to put the selector in, but I had to push that spring over the selector so it would I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, right there. Here, that spring right there, I had to push it over the selector before putting the selector in. So it was a little tricky, but I got it in. And now the safety works. I'm not sure how full auto is supposed to work. I'm not too sure. Yeah, but it all works. Yeah. Okay, well, there we go. Next part, I'm gonna put in the bolt catch. Spring. Okay, so spring goes here, like that. Spring. And this goes on. Oops. This goes on top, like so. And then this goes. So the spring is under there. Put this part on, and then this part slides in here, like so. And then this roll pin gets punched in here. Oops. There. There. That worked. So when the mag goes in, it will lift the bolt catch. Alright guys, so basically the lower is done. I just have to redo this here. Too bad it didn't come with a grub screw. So I am planning to put on a short, like a tanker stock, tractable stock, and I don't know if I need a plate here. You know what, I probably do. This goes... Alright, I got it. This is from my old GHK. this goes like this. Is it this way? This way. So what I gotta do, I gotta take these off when they're loose. And I can slide this off. No, so I do not need this. This goes on like this. And the barrel goes in. Like so. There. And then the stock goes back on. And then these screw back on. I'll probably have to Loctite these. It's dark now, so I should probably do this in the daytime, but I'm working, so the only time I can do it is on the weekends, but my weekends are pretty busy, so I have to do it at night, but the lighting isn't very good. Sorry about that. There's the stock. Cool. This is the buffer. I'm gonna put the spring in. I have to go get the spring. Okay, so this spring came with it. It's the same size as a GHK spring, so I'm not sure, because another YouTuber, his name goes by I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Nugento or Nuggenko. Or, I'm not sure, but it's spelled N-U-G-E-N-T-G-L. And he had a shorter buffer tube spring, and he cut down another one, I think a Vipertech spring, to increase the rate of fire. But this spring is a full-size spring, so I'm not sure if it will lock back or fit in here. It's pretty small, so we'll see how it goes. Like compared here, yeah, so we'll see. I'm gonna try to do that. Alright, so this is kind of strange. This buffer's rounded. It looks like it is manually grinded. I'm not sure why. Right, so this buffer is not rounded on the edges, like this one here. Okay, so I've just checked the website, and the buffer is flat on the website, and it looks like they grinded this round. So I'm just worried it will fly out. That's all I'm worried about. Alright, so the next part I'm going to do is just put on a regular pistol grip. This is from my old GHK. I'm just going to put it on here for now. And then the lower is done. Okay guys, So I ran into a problem. I forgot that I needed one of these screws for the grip, pistol grip. The one that came with the ergo grip for the real steel is too big. So what I had to do was go to the hardware store, and they actually had the exact same screw, machine screw. So I was lucky. Came in this package, 2 of them, with the pistol grip on. So I'm rather quiet. I have a newborn son, and he's sleeping, so I don't want to wake him up. Go. This is rather dirty from me using it on my old GHK. I have to wipe it up. Alright guys, so there we go. The lower is done. I'm just gonna go over the steps I did for putting together the internals here, just to refresh people's memories and just what I did wrong, so what you guys can do right. Alright, so when you put in the trigger, make sure this piece here is also in the center for this pin. And after you put the hammer on, and you're going to put the auto lever on, I find it easier to put the auto lever on without the selector in. So there's no tension on the spring, and the pin went in much more easier. And then when you put the selector in, you have to take a screwdriver and push the spring over here and push the selector in, and make sure this metal part is on this side and the spring is on this side, and it will go in. And yeah, so everything works. And I did scratch it up here, right here, I think when I was hammering, but I actually planned to sandblast this and Cerakote it. I was thinking some cool color, but we'll see. I kind of like the black too. So yeah, turned out good. I still have to test it, but I'm gonna build the upper next, so stay with me. So now we are going to build the upper. First things first, I guess we'll just do the easy things first. Put on the dust cover. Okay, so for this spring, when it sits on the dust cover, it has to have the long end here, and the short end you have to twist it like that under and pushing it against the upper. So I'm gonna do that. There we go. It's a little stiff to... I think there we go. Alright guys, that's done. Forward assist. Alright, so I believe when you push it in, it compresses the spring, and then you hammer the pin when the spring's compressed. The roll pin will be down in here, like that. Hope you can see that. So try that. I'm scared to hammer. I don't want to wake up my son, so I'm gonna get it started and then yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this later because my son is sleeping and can't wake him up. So we'll do a different part next. We will put the barrel together. So I think I'll take apart the delta ring. Actually, you're supposed to not clamp, you're supposed to stretch it apart. Like so. There we go. So this comes apart like so. Spring. This is what we need. The barrel nut. This holds the rail together, or it holds the barrel and everything together. Hop up rubber on. I'm probably gonna upgrade this later to an R-hop if I can. I want to try an R-hop on a GHK M4. See if it is good at all. So this barrel is just temporary. It's a pretty mucked up barrel. I'm just using it for the time being. I'm gonna buy a nicer barrel. This, I think this went in like this. Right. Hop up. Arm. The wheel. Alright. Put this in the barrel. So I got a short barrel. It's a 8-inch barrel. think the gasket goes on this side of the barrel. I think. So we'll try this again. I feel like it should go around here though. So I put the fake gas tube system on. I'm just gonna screw these grub screws in. Okay guys, so I found out when I put the bolt in and everything, this is too long for the short barrel. So either I have to trim it, and I can trim it. I'll do it later, but for now I'll just finish building this. And yeah, it's too bad basically this part here, like in the real one where the gas is supposed to push the bolt, was too long, and it was just couldn't go into chamber. So yep, so I'm going to have to change that later. It's not necessary because it does nothing, but it just, if you have the rail on, you'll see it showing up through the rail, just to make it more realistic, I guess. Anyway, I also found out I put this on too forward, so the threads are sunken in a bit, so I have to adjust this. Loctite sets up pretty quickly. So this barrel is slightly a little long, you can see it, but for now it's fine. I'm going to try to punch this in now that my son is awake. So I'm trying to hammer this pin in. Got it so it's staying, but I'm gonna have to really like wail on it. It'll be too loud right now, so I'll do it later. Basically, this is the upper. It's nice and short. And I think I have to sand inside of it, oil it up. Alright guys, so I put the lower and upper together, and I'm gonna just go over some of the things I ran into, like some problems. So first I'll go over what I just added some accessories. PTS front hand grip, and the Clone EOTech, And then I got some nice armament on sights, and that's it. Oh, and this sling is a quick detach sling, so it's these little swivels that you push in and they come out. I like 2-point slings, they're more stable, I think. I feel like single point bumps you in the crotch a lot. Alright, so the problems that I had was getting this lower to attach, getting the last pin in. Here, I'll just open the stock. So it was really hard for me to get this last pin in. It would go through halfway, but it wouldn't go through the last part here. So I had to do a little bit of light sanding, and eventually it went through. What I noticed with this tanker stock, or whatever it is, these here, the screw right here, that screw on both sides, this was actually twisted a little, so it was only going to about here. It was twisted, so the screw was bumping into here, and it wasn't able to fully extend. I was only able to get it to here, and so I had to unscrew in these holes here and twist it straight, and then it would get to the last position fully extended. I punched the pin in here for the forward assist. It was pretty hard to get through, but I kind of scratched it too right here, trying to get it in. But I'm planning to Cerakote this different color later. And I just put in the ambidextrous charging handle for now. And the next tricky thing was the bolt. It was really stuck into the BB feed ramp. Like, it was, this part here was getting really jammed in there. It was hard to just start pulling the charging handle, and so I had to kind of lightly sand it a bit in there, and it's a lot better now. The bolt release is really, I can't even push it with my finger for this bolt. I don't know, I have to like hit it like that. So I basically really have to just slap it to let the bolt go forward. But I'm wondering if that's because the spring in here is too long, so it's too much tension. So I'm gonna have to do a few tests to see if it locks back when I fire. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna shorten the spring. I already shortened it quite a bit. It was like a full spring, and I've shortened it to about like, I'd say this long. Yeah, about this long. So I'm not sure if I should shorten it more or not, but I'm gonna figure that out when I test it. And I can't test it in my apartment, it's just way too loud. My son will freak out. So I'll test it on the field or at my family's house. What else? Yeah, so I was wondering why it was so tight to get this bolt out of the feed ramp. Now I was thinking it could have been when I twist the barrel nut on, it actually twists the feed ramp slightly and it makes it more tight. That's what I was thinking. So I'm not sure. I noticed some differences on this tanker stock. It's the Savoda or something. I forget how you say it. Tanker stock, and from other people on YouTube, it looks a little different. It looks a little shorter, like it doesn't have this part. And there's a QD mount instead of here. There's one right here. So I'm not sure if they're supposed to be the same or not. I don't mind this one because I actually prefer the QD mount at the end of the stock. And then there's one right here. So it's not, if it was here, it'd be kind of close. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video on me building this gun from scratch. I actually really like it. I think it's oh man, the red dot was on this whole time. Hope I didn't leave it on overnight. Yeah, so I actually really like it. It's probably my favorite looking GHK I've seen. I'm usually not a huge fan of M4s, but I wanted to make something really different, and for QCV and or CQB, I mean, sorry, CQB, and so I decided to make this. My other M4 will be a long range rifle, and this is close up. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to do some tests on this in the future and let you know any updates I have, if I had to change anything. I hope this video helped in any way for putting together or taking apart the GHK. I know it wasn't very clear and bright light, but I hope it helped. There's another YouTuber that has great videos on GHKs, and I can never say his name right. It's like, starts with an N, and it's like Gentle or something like that. Gentle. I'll put it in his YouTube channel in the description. But he has a much clearer video on him taking apart and putting together the lower. So that's what I actually watched to help me do it. But yeah, hopefully this new video will help a little too. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I'll game this soon and you can watch some gameplay footage of this particular rifle. Alright guys, I'll talk to you guys soon.